guys. Day 2, time 8 o'clock. Did get here for 7:30. Caretaker had a bit of a meltdown because I was here early. In the last 30 odd years, he ain't seen me this early. He actually forgot who I was. Anyway, by the by. So, like I said, I tend to go that little bit further on these things. So my quote was 2 sockets, which I've done. Take out those or decommission them or do something with them, so then take it down after. I'm going to give them 3 sockets because that's what I do. So I can't move the Cat 5, so I decided either a white or a metal plate. This is brushed aluminium, brushed steel, sorry. So what I can do is see if it fits on there nicely. Yeah, so I'm going to opt for the steel one just to cover that plate up. That's it. So I'm going to crack on. I left all my tools here last night. I'm just grateful I didn't get called out. Right. And hopefully I can just cut the back out of this one and just put the back plate on, so I don't want to interrupt any of the cables that I put in. Right, so hang on. Just a couple of tags here. Right, so my job. Fit dado trunking, fit a couple of sockets in the back there so I can put the computers on. Move the Cat 5, that was my job. So what I've decided to do, Cat 5's in the back anyway now. I've got to blank that off. I've fitted them the extra socket because I think I'm going to need it. And at the back here, if you ever remember from the last part of the video, I've moved all the HDMI, USB, audio, and put them into a box and put them in the same trunking, rather than have them where they were. I've combined everything together so it looks nice. I had to do it. It wasn't in my price. I thought it'll look better. Like I say, if you put a decent price in for the job, which it ain't expensive, but I know that I can cover what I've done. Yes, took about an hour extra, but you know, the job's done now. Looks nicer, etc. Just knock that back a bit. And put that on then. Right. I'm going to put these plastic nipples in later on. Once I've verified the circuit. I was saying, I don't like these because they sometimes don't work. But I gotta be honest, ever since I've been using them on this job, they've only failed me 3 times. So, yeah, I would like cloying. Put your comments in. Oh, the other thing is, if anybody's got any idea, what would you charge for this job? Just a curiosity, what would you charge? So, up there I'm going to ditch off the conduit, cut into the conduit. It's already threaded up there. All I'm going to pull off is the inline connector. I'll put 3 sockets in. Count it as 3, count it as 2, don't make no difference to me. 3 sockets, I've moved the Cat 5 and I've dropped down there and done the HDMI and everything else from down there. It comes down here 25mm conduit. It's on Flexicon up here. It's going to be into a box. I'm going to cut the ring, put Legos on, etc. What would you have charged? So yesterday I was here for 5 hours in total, and that was not rushing. Today I'm probably going to be here for about 3. I'm not going to rush today either. So yeah, put your price down in the comments what you would have charged. So it's a school. So it's a school. What do you think? Right, I thought that the so I'm using 2.5 singles on this, and all the cables go into the same place. I thought that the earth would be slightly higher, not because the earth's higher because it's a different measurement of cable, because they're all 2.5s, but I thought it'd be higher because I've gone in and out of the socket on separate earths. So I thought it would build up to, so my main earth continuity I would have thought would have been about 0.01, sorry, 0.11, and I thought that the actual continuity of the circuit would have been 0.1, so there'd be 0.01 of a difference, but there ain't, because I've gone in and out, in on one earth terminal, out on the other earth terminal, which makes the circuit slightly bigger, but no, it's fine. I ain't woke up yet. Late night last night again, quoting. I've just had a quotation, well, survey done for 38 cameras in a supermarket. Got a quote for. I used to be VAT registered. I'm not VAT registered anymore. I just ain't. They like the idea. You're a debt collector really then, if you're collecting VAT for the government. I mean, if you earn it, and you know, but it's extra expense for you doing stuff for the government, and I couldn't warrant it. So on this camera job that I'm quoting, it's something that I don't normally do. So I think this is beautiful. Make sure the camera's recording. Right, so customer wants to buy the equipment himself from my wholesaler. My wholesaler has agreed, but he can't have it at the same price as me. Great, no problem at all. So I'm going to give you quoting for labour. Don't forget now that if I was quoting for the job, there would be a markup on the material. I would put 30% on the material. That's for the guarantee, callbacks, etc, etc. Because I'm not buying the stuff, there's no markup on the material, so I've got to quote for labour. I've got to quote for labour very carefully, in that I'm not the one that's going to be out of pocket should the job go over. So I've done a price for the materials. The wholesaler has agreed them. He knows what that price is. Right, so I'll put a price in for the labour and some small peripherals, RJ45 plugs, fixing, you know, a few fixings. Anyway, I put my price in for my labour. Right, so it's time with the idea, and I know I'm going off the subject of what I'm actually doing now, but it's obviously on the back of my mind. Customer says, right, if anything goes wrong with the equipment, etc. Oh, sorry, no. I put it in my quotation that my labour is guaranteed for 1 year. And he's picked up on that. And he says, well, what about the material? What happens if a camera goes faulty? I says, well, if a camera goes faulty, you need to send it back to the place that you got it off. He says, right, which is your wholesaler. I says, yeah. Right, how do I do that though? He says, do you just go out and just send it back and what's it? I says, yeah, but obviously I'll charge. He said, but it's covered under the guarantee. I says, your guarantee is with the wholesaler because you bought the stuff from the wholesaler. Okay, but you're not going to guarantee it. No, because I've not sold you anything apart from labour. Right. Still can't get it. I mean, he's a good, intelligent guy, but he can't get it. He says, well, I shouldn't have to pay for you to come and take it out, send it back. And I says, you would do because you paid me for the labour. So there's nothing wrong with my labour. If a material goes faulty, you've got to take it out, send it back. They'll service, replace it, send it back, and you've got to fit it. He said, well, I don't know how to do that. I said, well, I do, and that's what you pay me for. That is built into my guarantee. But you're not offering me a guarantee? I said, we're on the same page now anyway. So, in a nutshell, I'm probably quoting 10 days for that, which, you know, a few grand. I might lose that because of that, but I don't mind losing that if I ain't going to make no money on it and there's going to be a hassle after. Because obviously he ain't collared on that, you know, I told him, you know, if he was to buy a television and ask us to fit it on the wall or whatever, would he expect us to guarantee his television is much as bought from Curry's? The answer's no. I said, so you'd have to take it off the bracket, take it back to Curry's, they'd have it for a while. I said, but don't forget, you've not bought it off a retailer, you've bought it off a wholesaler. Wholesalers haven't got any engineers. You've had it at a wholesale price. You know where I'm going about this, lads. I'm trying to justify it myself as well. Right, that's done. So I've got a blank on that now. I'll put that socket on. I've got to get this connected up. I just need to do an insulation resistance test on this cable because I've got waylaid down. Okay, so I've got continuity, I've got insulation resistance test done. Now, here's another one for you. 6 months ago, I quoted for changing three-phase consumer units in this school. For a high pricing, because I know what's involved. Everything was going to be RCBOs, etc. Now, had it done. There's no schedule of tests on the new consumer unit. There's no, now don't forget, this is pre-amendment 2. So there's no label, differential colour label on the boards. And there is absolutely no identification of what any breakers for. So now I've got to go and find out what breaker it is. Keep an eye on that for me. Not a bad guess. My meter has been verified this morning. One of the things I do is I've got a monthly test schedule I do on my meter. I'll put this in a video, I'm sure, in the past. Have a look. So I've got the checkbox and just check it every month. Anyway, that's all. Now I've got a feeling that this is the main one. Yeah, okay, so I don't know if you can see that. Been done some time ago, but I don't know if it's in focus here. Have a look. Yeah, let's move it around a bit for you all. How's that? Right. So, conduit comes down into this one, and it's been spared off twice with these two. Fine, not a problem. It is 1.5 done years ago. So here, I don't know if you can see, I've used inline crimps. So, I mean, that's before Wagos become popular. Right, so I am at a dilemma what to do. Up there, I need to get this back over there a bit because I am that. going to do a couple of tests on the existing wall as well. All I'm going to do is continuity. So theoretically it has passed anyway because it had a EICR not so long back. Okay. So it's definitely singles. There's continuity. I can't do my calculation yet on my phone. Not until that. I mean, it's going to be imperial for a start off, so the region is going to be slightly different, but it's definitely it's like a 1 mil flex that's going around it. 1 mil single, sorry, that's going around it. Anyway, I crack on. I'm going to turn that off because I'm definitely using my batteries on this. So you've seen that. Don't worry about that now. I'm going to get up there. I've got to do my dismantling of everything. So I'm going to have to conserve battery on the phone, and I'm going to have to conserve battery memory on my phone as well. Right guys, so I've took that box off there, and as you see the conduit come down low now, and that's because I unscrewed it. Let's see if I can get in there. It's very vague, but you can see it unscrewed, which he's pushed it down. He's pushed the conduit down that way a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the pliers around there and try and pull it down a bit more. Just so I can get the cable out of that conduit. As you can see, it's going to be a female connector. So I'm going to use, let's get it in focus, I'm going to use one of these. My box as well, etc. Or put a gender changer in and connect it up. I don't know yet. But that's where I am. So I'm going to pull that down so I can pull the cable out without cutting any cable at the moment. Okay, I'm going to line the video up, the camera up now, so it's on the tripod. Oh guys, it's just in focus now. I think I'm going to be able to pull the cables out there like that. Right. Like I said, I can now unscrew that coupler at the top, and then I can screw it straight into that whisker box. Here's my coupler. Don't need that now. Here's my whisker box. Just got to get the camera and make sure it's looking where I want it to. Right. This way to start off with. So I'm coming out of a I'm coming out of a 20mm threaded male connector into a wago box that's got a female insert and it's 20mm thread. Trouble is, with these lock nuts that you put on conduit and stuff like that, they've got a rounded edge which acts as a deburr. Now I've got the conduit coming out straight into a wago box, so it's, even though it's been there for donkey's years, it's going to have a serrated sharp edge which my cables could rub against. So what I'm going to do is, even despite it being that, I'm going to get some heat shrink and put it on the inside of the cable once I found my heat shrink. I'm going to turn the camera off. I need to go and get my heat shrink, etc. Right guys, back. I have to have a leak as well. Oh. A bit of heat shrink just shove up inside this lot. torch up there so I'd give it a bit more light for everybody. I mean, there's obviously different ways of doing this stuff. Right, bit of juddering of the camera. Sound like the Queen. Right, so here's the conduit coming down. Yeah. So there's the bare edge, which would normally be deburred by the coupling screw that goes on it. So what I've done is I've put a piece of heat shrink up inside there, and now it acts as an extra sheath. So if there's any pulling like that, it's pushing against this lot. Okay, there shouldn't be too much, etc. Anyway, so I've got to get my conduit in here somehow. Let's get back, so yeah, and make all the connections. That's going to be fun. Okay, TTFN. Right, I originally put that box in, as you can see it knock out there, a little bit too tight. What I've done now is I put a bigger box in, and you can see that bigger box, put the Flexicon in, that's in a 20mm hole. You can still see the insulation I put around there to protect that from bear rub. All I've got to do is connect them all up. Right, I'll try and hold the camera up here, but I've got to be honest, I think it's going to be a bit tight. Anyway, yeah, I mean, if you look at the back here, there's my torch. You know, it ain't, it's quite high up there, but working where I am, I'm limited on space, so I think I'll do it, and I'll film it, and sorry, I'll do it, and I'll show you what it's done after. Okay, back down the ladder. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to do another test on them, because I've got one side a bit more into the ring. Okay, I confirm that as zeroed. So I've obviously just put them in Wagos. So I need to check that I've got continuity. Okay. 0.73, and that's about right. these down, lads. Keep on saying lads. It's only because according to it, I've got no females watching the channel. Okay, I just wrap them down. I just guess the way I go depth, it is 11 mil. Roughly guess. Drop my weight though. Yeah, guess 11 mil. Actually, my depth stop is for 11 mil anyway, but I wasn't cutting it right anyway. Going, come on. so this box does come with, I'll show you. Where's the camera? Yeah. So you see a load of nothing. Let's get that in focus. It does come with that. But me making the connections up there, way too tight. So, as you can see, they're all in there, nice and tidy. I've tested them as I'm going in. I'm going to put the lid on in a second and power up. Get my cutters off, otherwise I should be leaving them. Okay, let's see if I can get the camera up there while I'm working up now. Yeah, go on. Okay, it's a bit dicey. These back in place. That was an original, so I can go back on there. The originals are shorter screws. Right, I'm knackered now because I've been trying to saw that pipe off, but I've managed to get it. Okay, so I've got flexicon going all the way down to the pipe here, all the way down, takes the mains into that trunking, made it off, way it goes, tested it. R1, I've got 0.72 neutral to neutral. I have got 0.73 on the earth. I have got 0.42, I think it was, from memory, because it does go in a 1mm earth all the way around the conduit system after. So, you know, dear maths should work out the same. Okay, right, I'm going to get my torch out the way. Nice and dark up there now. That's me finished. I've just got to put that on there because I've got the conduit pushed back up. I'll put those back on. I'm going to put none in use on them. Identify those at the board, tidy up, move my tripod. Here's my tools, here's my what's it, my meter. Have a look here. Here's my boxes, drill, fixings, fittings, fittings. The Stanley Fat Max actually fits on the Walt in some situations. So we've got yeah, rubbish, and there's my box of Legos. Alright guys, there's the labelled up. It's an old 3-phase board that's connected to, and I've identified it as 12 red on DB2. Okay, just got to do the ZS now. Just a few finishing touches off. Just a few finishing touches. Got to clean all this up now. Here's my bag, my cable, etc. So I'm off in a bit. Got to put the hoover over, get my stuff out of here, etc. And I'm off. Till next time.